Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
The Aam Aadmi Party is making another serious bid for power here in Goa by declaring a chief ministerial candidate, the extremely popular Amit Palekar, who is known for his grassroots work, especially during the lethal second wave of the pandemic. You can see Amit here, he's mingling with would-be voters, and as we said that, you know, you've been a lawyer, you've been a social activist, you did great work during the pandemic, but Abhi where are we? Tell us a little bit about where we are.
So, I'll tell you one thing.
You can just come a little this side.
So, this is the heart of the constituency.
Okay.
And we are in the middle of the constituency. This is called Chimbel, Indiranagar.
Okay.
It was set up about 40-50 years back. But if you see the whole constituency, if you've driven down, you see the condition of the roads.
Yeah, and in fact, where we're standing, I can see a big, huge garbage dump.
Heap of garbage.
Yeah, so
they're not been able to solve
this
problem.
So why is this? Why?
This is because for the last 25-30 years, what we have seen is the people who have got elected time and again over the ages never looked back upon the constituency the way they haven't looked back upon Goa. That's the problem.
This garbage dump represents what to you? I'm just going to ask the camera to give you another perspective of it.
This is the
some would say all localities all over India have a kind of wasteland garbage dump area like this. Why are you using this to make a point?
I'll tell you one thing. From 2007, the High Court of Goa is seized of the matter. It's a suo motu writ petition, which tried to solve the garbage problem by whipping the governments after government. From 2007 till 2022, the matter is alive.
We can come here for a bit and you can talk a little bit about what we're seeing here.
This is the plastic waste. This has not been collected for ages, I believe.
Okay.
I just can't understand why the government cannot give these basic necessities to the people of Goa.
So we're standing next to a dump of plastic waste, and Amit Palekar, the chief ministerial candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party, says that this 4 kilometers from Panaji, the capital, makes a huge point about the failure of governance. The question is, can the Aam Aadmi Party fill that counter narrative? And that's my question. Look, you obviously enjoy a very great personal reputation, especially a lot of people we met spoke about the work you did when oxygen ran short at hospitals. You even as a lawyer went to court for that. You helped set up beds when people were running short of beds. Great. But are you cut out to be a politician?
See, what is a politician? A politician, I believe, is a person who should have some empathy and sympathy for its people. If you have both, and compassion and the willingness to work for people of Goa and the brains to use whatever resources that's available to you. Goa is blessed with resources, whether it's natural, whether it's our mineral, whether it's whatever. And the biggest resources of Goa is its people. The people of Goa are intelligent, educated, but they're deprived all the time. So I don't think, see, the problem is we feel, I mean, how do you explain, are you cut out for a politician? Okay, if you tell me the way other Indian politicians are, the way they indulge in corruption, no, I am not cut out for that. If you tell me you want to be like Mr. Kejriwal, who will be giving you honest politics, who will be giving you, proper development, who will be giving a vision, yes, I am cut out for it. We have looked at all these parts. We have looked at all of this, and I think we'll walk this way.
You want to walk that?
We'll walk this way.
Okay, there is at the back, you can actually see a number of would-be voters. If you bring the camera down, you can see there are, possible voters that Mr. Palekar will have to convince, to vote for change this time. Let me ask you this as we keep walking along.
Be careful, you might fall in a gutter.
So well, there are the open gutters that Mr. Palekar is pointing to. But let me ask you this. That, when we talk about possible change, right? The Aam Aadmi Party also tried its luck in the last election.
Yes.
It was a very high voltage campaign, but it did not translate into a single MLA seat, and the vote share was a little over 6%.
Yes.
What is different this time? Why are you more hopeful this time?
The reason is from 2017 to 2021.
Yeah.
The journey was not just left like that. Aam Aadmi Party didn't leave Goa. They built a cadre.
Yeah.
They built a block of volunteers. They built a family which is going to work for betterment of Goa. And that's what is making Aam Aadmi Party give a serious challenge to all other parties in Goa right now.
There's been a lot of focus on your caste identity, on the fact that you belong to the Bhandari subgroup. It's an OBC caste. It's over 30% of the state. In fact, the Bhandari Samaj said they would support whichever party declared a candidate from that community. Can you talk a little bit about whether you think that's going to be a factor? Are you comfortable with your caste identity being perceived as a major factor?
We cannot ignore the fact that I come from Bandari community.
Yeah.
But we cannot ignore the fact that coming from a community which has been deprived for so many years, for last 60 years, an educated person from that caste,
Yeah.
a person who has a vision for Goa,
Yeah.
a person who has intelligence to deal with these people, is the one who has been chosen. Now see, you have a mixture of people in here.
Yeah, in fact, we can see, Namaste. They're going to think I've come here to ask for votes. So you should talk to them. But you can see people here. And, you know, Amit is doing door-to-door campaign. He is walking through the bylanes of his constituency, seeking votes. And sorry, let's come back to what you were saying about the Bhandari community.
Yeah, so when it comes to community at large, a community which has been deprived its real position in life, in real position in politics, have been given an opportunity. A person who is, I am cut out from the education that I got in.
Yeah.
I came from a very middle class family.
Tell us a little bit about your background.
My father was a teacher.
Okay.
And he actually struggled to become qualified to be a lawyer at that point of time, but didn't have enough resources to sustain himself as a lawyer. So he had a dream. We are 3 children. He educated us with whatever limited resources that we had. And I did my master's.
Yeah.
Whilst I was doing that, I applied for a government job. When I did that, in fact, I'm a state ranker.
Okay.
And being a state ranker, even though I answered my exams for GPSC, BJP government was in power at that point of time. I was asked to pay a bribe. We didn't have money to pay the bribe.
Who asked you to pay the bribe?
Well, I cannot say it on camera, but it is obviously a minister who was involved in the appointments.
Okay.
So, you know, these things went on. I applied for it second time. Then I decided that enough of this. A middle class person cannot get government jobs, even at that point of time, and even today.
Yeah.
The way job scams are, we have exposed them. We were angry about it, and I knew one day I'm going to fight this.
Yeah, and recently you tried to call out what you said is corruption in the Goa Medical College case.
Everything has been taken cognizance of by the Honorable High Court even yesterday in the matters which have been filed, which we helped for.
Yeah.
You know, we managed to get an order from the High Court for asking for an inquiry in the matter. So
Okay.
30 days has been given to the Vigilance Committee to inquire, and job scams will be exposed. Whatever the corruption that this government has indulged into will be exposed, and that's what we have been doing for over a period of time.
You spoke about your father being a teacher. What I read is that your mother has been a panchayat level politician.
Yes.
So the influence of your mother.
My mom has been, my father also was a deputy sarpanch of the village for some point of time.
Yeah.
My mom, almost for two terms, she was a sarpanch. And she has done lots for the village. Only playground which is there in Santa Cruz, which in fact the then MLA thought that, you know, we should be the one who should take credit for it, was actually started off, entire thing was done by my mother. Now, of course, from that particular background, she joined BJP with an intention that things will change, the constituency would change. And then you see nothing happening. She spent about 25 years of her life with BJP. A hardcore believer.
Your mother spent 25 years of her life with BJP.
Yes.
So that's interesting. I didn't know that. So that's a new detail we're discovering.
Yes,
And then what happened? Why did she leave?
And, you know, last 5 years, we have been telling the party, you know, look after our constituency, look after the needs of the constituency, look after all these problems.
And you can see a crowd has gathered, and we're about to go with Amit into the the mandir in the area. And a very interesting detail is emerging about how his mother was with the BJP for 25 years. What was the tipping point for her to leave?
See, basically, of course, I have not been associated as such with the party at all. But, you know, after persistent failures of the party, after persistent failures of the party to deal with corruption for last 5 to 7 years, that has become so rampant, so rampant that none who are part of BJP can identify with the party that exists today. And I think there have been hard statements which came from, you must have heard Mr. Amit Palekar also saying something like this, the hard-hitting statement, and yet the shameless party that BJP is today. And I say this with conviction, that, you know, the defections they taught defections. They taught MLAs to defect from Congress to BJP. That's how governments are being formed. So selfish nature of BJP without considering Goa or Goans' hearts. I think that's what is the tipping point for any of these people.
But tell me in the end, I know you have to get back to your campaign, but the fact that the opposition is divided, the fact that your party, I was just interviewing Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi. He proposed a post-poll alliance if needed in Goa, and said that there's been no positive response. He said Congress wale rote rehte hain. The fact that the opposition is so divided, does that not give the BJP the advantage?
See, I think what they are laughing at about a month back probably would be that, yes, the opposition is divided. But I think it's straight fight. In certain places, it's against Congress and Aam Aadmi Party. In certain places, it's BJP and Aam Aadmi Party. So I don't think opposition is divided. Whatever parties that jumped in the fray last 2 months back also disappeared.
What are you anticipating will happen?
I think we are going to head towards forming the government.
The Aam Aadmi Party?
Yes, the way it looks like. There's a lot of undercurrents. I think the way, see, people, I'm sure these people have gathered here because they now believe that I am the only hope. But when I roam in the other parts of our constituency, they have been either hardcore voters of Congress or BJP. In silent words, they come and talk to you and says, we are with you. We can't come in open because we have certain candidates here who are known to have criminal records before. So they are worried. And the fear of politicians, is so much in Goa that people don't come out in open and vote.
Do you think that the opposition may have to come together after, that this government will be formed by a post-poll set of politics?
I think we will get there when we get there. We'll talk about it when we get there. But the way things are right now, I don't think it's necessary to even worry about that part of it. We have decided to go on head-on with corruption, anti-defection, and vision for Goa. I think let's take that ahead with our vision.
You sat on a hunger strike when old construction was being damaged by illegal buildings and constructions coming up next to it in old Goa. Obviously, you feel strongly as a Goan. Let me ask you in the end, and Arvind Kejriwal commended you on that and you were able to stop that. Will you stay in public life even if the Aam Aadmi Party doesn't do well?
I am here to stay with these people, with people of Goa, forever and ever and ever. And I said that, and I'm saying it again. My life is theirs now, and their life is mine. And they know it. They know it. This is a bastion of Congress. You won't believe it. In normal 2000.
Well, you can see a round of applause going up for them.
I'll tell you. It's the future of this child. You see so many ladies. They are educated girls. They applied for jobs. That girl applied for a job. She applied for a job. I know them by name.
You want to introduce us to them?
Yes, you can, of course. Yeah, that's Fiza. They applied for a police constable.
So you can see Amit Palekar says that he knows the people here
I know them.
By name, and irrespective of what happens in the elections, he is here to stay in politics. Amit, thank you very much. We'll try and let you get back to the campaign. This is Amit Palekar. We leave you with the images of him with the people here in his constituency, the chief ministerial candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party. It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.